This is how you deal with a racist cop. A racist cop sends racist memes, and a judge says, you gotta go to jail. And the cop is banned from ever being a cop again. Yes, he got arrested for texting racist memes and banned from ever being the police. Yeah, you're right. This is not happening in America. Let me take you to the UK. A British judge just sentenced an ex-cop, James Watts, to 20 weeks in jail for sharing racist memes on WhatsApp, all right? This was May of June 2020, all right? May and June of 2020. So after a police inquiry, the 31-year-old was found to have posted 10 offensive memes in May and June, including one featuring a white dog wearing a KKK Ku Klux Klan clothing, and another one showing a kneeling mat with George Floyd's face printed on it. So the deputy chief magistrate, Tan Ikram, said, and I quote, "At the time of these offenses, you were a police officer, a person to whom the public looks up to uphold the law, but you did the opposite. The hostility that you demonstrated on the basis of race makes this offending so serious that I cannot deal with it by a community penalty of fine. A message must go out, and that message can only go out through an immediate sentence of imprisonment." That's the kind of judge I'm talking about. Every meme that was sent out served as one count of grossly offensive material. Watts of Castle Bromwich, Birmingham, pleaded guilty at an earlier hearing to 10 counts of sending grossly offensive or menacing messages by a public communication network. In addition to the 20 weeks in jail time, his name has been added to the College of Policing's barred list, banning him from any policing role in the entire country for the rest of his natural life. He's racist. He's a liability to the department and the country. They didn't play with him. Now, granted, this judge utilized a creative approach because typically this would have been handled with a fine, but the judge had the authority to enact a criminal penalty and did so, and said, we're gonna make an example out of you, just as he should have. You see, they did all of that in the UK without changing one damn law. Yasmin, thoughts?
Yeah, we already know that this is a cultural thing in the United States here, right? And there's so many common sense ways of dealing with gun violence in this country that we don't even have time to even think about because we're dealing with all these deflections from all these gun advocates and from law enforcement advocates or whoever, And we saw that Canada even tightened their gun restrictions after a shooting in our country, and we still haven't done anything about it after school children were killed in Texas, and then however many other shootings there were within that same week, right? We keep having these same issues come up. Nothing has changed. I remember when Columbine happened, which was like 20 years ago. Nothing has changed since Columbine. It's gotten worse, right? We have less gun restrictions, more gun access since then. It's still happening, and we keep wondering why it keeps happening because we're not addressing the issue, and we will not because it's a cultural thing. It's not like a policy thing,
That's right. And here's what the UK teaches us in this situation. I know we put a lot of emphasis on laws and policies changing, and we should. But we also need to emphasize good leadership. The judge exercised good leadership and became very creative, proactive, and appropriate. We're living in a time of radical dysfunction. In order to balance radical dysfunction, it requires radical and thoughtful leadership.